Today I'm here with this lovely MK3 MR2 or MRS, whatever you want to call it, and Ollie.
Hello.
So the first thing I guess we should do is probably go through some of the modifications that you've actually done to the car.
Yeah.
So the first modification Ollie actually did to these cars was the wheels, right?
Yep.
And how much did these set you back?
About $1,000 for wheels and tyres total.
Ooh, that's and they're real.
Yep, real Enki RPF ones, as you can see the sticker. Hopefully.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're a lot nicer than my disgusting rep wheels. You know, I do think they look really good on the MR2. So yeah,
oh,
nice.
Thank you.
Obviously, the next modification Ollie made was the suspension, which are
BCBR coilovers.
Very nice. How much did that cost you?
About $1,000 in total. So I fitted them myself.
Yeah.
So I saved a bit of money.
Good for the twisties though.
Yeah, totally, definitely.
The next modification you did was this right here.
Yep. So it's a Sard ductile spoiler, imported all the way in from Japan. It's a nice little addition, I think. Cleans up the lines a bit compared to the stock, which makes the back look a bit flat, a bit boring.
And if you want to know what it looked like before, it's this right here, which in my opinion, I think this looks a lot better.
Oh yeah, totally.
In my opinion, I actually do think this is one of the most underrated cars you can buy for the money. And it's also a very nice looking car as well. But Ollie's also done some pretty cool interior modifications, so we'll check them out now. As you can see, it's a very nice place to be in here. There's this lovely aftermarket shifter that Ollie's put in, which I'm a big fan of, and this oil pressure gauge, which is very nice, in my opinion. We also can't forget to talk about this, which is obviously the hardtop. How much do these usually cost?
Usually probably about $1.5 grand, maybe $2 grand.
Wow.
So easily the same amount as this car without a hardtop.
Yeah, and you actually bought this.
Luckily the previous owner sourced a hardtop for me, but I got the car $4.5 grand total, so
it's not too bad.
Not too bad.
That's pretty good. Another modification which I think is essential on any Japanese car is an exhaust.
Yep. HKS back box sent me back about another 600 quid. So not too bad. Sounds great. Not too loud though.
Let's give it a little sound test now.
Yeah.
It's quite a decent little sound out of a 1.8 if you ask me. In terms of specs then, I mean, how big is this engine?
It's 1.8 litre, 138 horsepower, so not too pokey, but
in a small car like this?
In a small car, 1,000 kilos.
Pretty good.
It's enough.
Should we take it for a drive?
Totally.
Let's take it for a drive. So Ollie, a MK3 MR2, what are some of the things that, what are some of the things you don't like about this car?
Well, I think first of all is the severe lack of storage space. You've got the boot in the front, which is currently holding the spare tyre, so there's not much space in there. And then you've got the cubbies behind the seats. Once again, no room whatsoever.
Yeah,
barely enough for a suitcase.
I was gonna say there's not much space in this car. Obviously I daily drive an MX5, so I'm used to it. But there's not much storage space either, so I can see that being a bit of an issue. See what it's got. It's got a bit of kick.
Yeah.
It's got a lot more kick than mine. Wow.
It's got some poke to it. Like I said before, about 140 horsepower, just under. So considering it's 1,000 kilos, it's not too bad.
I was gonna say, what's the 0 to 60 on this car? Like, what's the average?
I think it's around 7.5 to 8 seconds.
That's not too bad.
It's not going to break your neck, but
no.
It's quick enough.
But it's enough in this car.
Yeah.
It's a small, I feel like it's a small, you can throw it around.
Yeah, the real joy in this is through the corners, I think. It's not so much a top speed car, it's definitely in the twisties is where you'll find it.
Yeah, 100%. There's not many cars that are mid-engine anymore that you can buy for this cheap as well.
No, yeah. I think, for a mid-engine car, people call it a baby Lotus because it's Lotus in everything but name. Funny enough, actually, I've got a Lotus lightweight flywheel, so you can really feel the difference especially in first and second, where the gearing's quite long.
Yeah.
When you pull away, you really feel that punch, that lightness.
Yeah. No, it definitely. Yeah, I think that's a very underrated modification. Is a lighter flywheel.
Yeah, I probably should have upgraded the clutch as well, but you know.
Let's leave it for next time.
Yeah, we'll leave that for next time.
One thing I did want to ask you was, have you experienced the infamous snap oversteer?
Not yet. I'm guilty for not having pushed this very hard. I'd like to get on track soon, but no, not yet. Supposedly they've solved the snap oversteer problems with this generation, especially the facelift. But I guess some hard driving will find the answer out quick.
Yeah, it's one thing that puts people off of a lot of MR2s. I think it's very prominent in the early ones, especially the AW11
Yes,
and the SW20. A lot of people experience the snap oversteer in them. I think they kind of got rid of it in the facelift of the SW20 though, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
But I've not heard much of it in the MRS. So you've obviously owned this car for, I'm guessing, how long has it been since you owned this car?
3.5, nearly 4 years now.
Almost 4 years. Has anything gone wrong or?
Funnily enough, only a few bits have gone wrong. Nothing catastrophic.
Yeah.
Most recently, I've had an O2 sensor go, which is fairly common.
Happened to me.
Yeah, and the heat shield on the mid pipe has started to vibrate and it's become very annoying. So we've had to take that off. But aside from that, mechanically it's been quite sound. The previous owner gutted the precats, which is an infamous problem on this car. So no worry about that. No oil burning.
That's good.
Did have a coolant leak due to the radiator in the bottom left corner is quite prone to rusting out and leaking. But luckily we caught that just before it went catastrophically bad.
I did not realise it made that sound when reversing.
Yeah, it's because the reverse gear is over to the left and up, so it's basically one over from first.
Oh wow!
So you can quite easily shift it into reverse, thinking you've put it into first, or either the other way around. So it's there to make sure that you know that you're not going to go.
Sounds like a lorry, you know. It's like a truck. I guess if you buy something from Toyota, most of the time it's going to be pretty good. So
yeah, it's pretty reliable.
Yeah.
I think it's the same engine as in the Celica. Is it the GT? The 7th gen Celica. But unfortunately, they got the 2ZZ as well.
I was going to say a lot of people swap that into this, right?
Yeah, so it's a fairly common swap. It's even like without any modifications, you can gain about 40 horsepower, which is, if you consider about 190, 200 horsepower in something like this, plenty for some backroads fun. Yeah,
that'd be great fun. I was going to say it's all you sort of need in these, like the MX5, like obviously the MR2. In these kind of cars, just sometimes put in a supercharger or a turbo on as well, can make a big difference. That little tweak of power,
oh absolutely,
it just kind of unlocks a lot more to it then.
It opens it up.
Yeah, exactly. It's your only car, right?
Yeah.
So what's it like to daily drive, is it?
I think a lot of people will say that it's impractical because there's no storage space and because it's small, but I find that actually makes it more practical because you can always fit in a parking space. There's no such thing as a parking space that's too small.
That's true. That's something that I've found with my car as well. It's like there's not much space for storage, but for driving, especially where we live as well, like the outskirts of London, you can it's pretty easy to drive around town, and it can kind of weave in and out of traffic. Yeah. Especially in these older cars too, where they're not, obviously they have their drawbacks because they're a little bit older, but there's not so many safety features or regulations, so they're able to be a lot more smaller than modern cars. Yeah. Especially something like this. I don't think we'll ever have a mid-engined.
Probably not. No. I mean, there's rumours that Toyota are going to be
that electric car
coming out with the new MR2, but who knows? We'll have to find out.
We'll see. So yeah, overall, I do think that the MRS, the MR2, the Mark 3 MR2, whatever you want to call it, the MR2 Spyder, is that it as well?
MR2 Spyder, Roadster, whatever you want to call it.
Whatever you want to call it. I do think overall it's a pretty good car, right? I mean,
oh yeah.
Do you think it's underrated? I know a lot of people don't tend to look at these.
Yeah, I think it's very much a Marmite car.
Yeah.
Some people hate the look of it. I love the look of it. Yeah. I think the massive headlights really add to the characteristics of the car. Yeah. But for I think you can get these for as low as £2,000. So it's an absolute steal.
Do you know what as well? One thing I do think about the Mark III MR2, which it's kind of weird, but I think it looks like a mini Carrera GT.
Yes, yeah.
You know, like I'm not saying it looks like a Carrera GT, but there's aspects of it.
Totally. At night when no one can really see it, I definitely think some people go, oh my god, that's a nice looking Porsche. But
No, do you know what as well? I think in terms of the looks of the car, and as you said, a lot of people are super critical about it. I'm the same as you. I really like the looks of the Mark III MR2. But I think, for me, it's one of them cars, the older it will get, the better it will look.
yeah.
You know, there's
yeah.
a lot of cars like that where people aren't too sure on the looks of it. And then in 10 years' time, people will realise that they can't buy something like this anymore. And
No, exactly.
they'll be paying stupid money for it. So
Yeah, and the thing is, even if you don't like the look of it, there's so much aftermarket support.
yeah, you're getting a body kit soon, right?
I am, yes. I'm getting a C1 replica kit. You might have seen Initial D.
Yes.
yeah.
I'll show it. We'll show it on screen now, and the Initial D car if I can find it. But yeah, that it does look pretty. It does look pretty cool.
Hopefully, it'll really sort of make the car pop a bit more.
Yeah. Oh no, totally. No, these with a body kit look really nice. You know? What's it like on fuel?
Fuel?
Yeah.
I mean, considering it's basically a Corolla as well, I think you can get between 30 or 40 mpgs pretty easily.
Yeah.
I top it up. I'm guilty of using premium fuel every single time.
Same as me.
But you can normally get about 2/3 of a tank, maybe 3/4 of a tank for about 40 quid now. I mean, it depends where you get your petrol.
Yeah.
But, so it's not too bad, and it can last me quite a while.
Yeah. I was gonna say, it's a good thing about having a small car again is the fuel. The fuel situation is so good.
100%.
And it's if you don't drive it hard, you can get a pretty good.
No, exactly. It's a great car because if you want to drive it hard, you can drive it hard and it'll take it. And if you want to drive it, on the motorway or take a leisurely drive, it'll do that as well.
Well, look, thanks, Ollie, for showing me your MR2.
Yeah, no
it's
problem.
Really fun to film this video of you. And if you did enjoy this video, please consider subscribing. It's free, and you can always unsubscribe at any time. I'll see you in the next one.